London is getting a new cycle lane. This is part of a broader initiative to transform the city into a more cyclist-friendly environment. The new lane is expected to significantly improve the daily commute for thousands of Londoners who rely on bicycles for transportation. This £4.5 million project will stretch from Aldgate Square to Blackfriars. The route is designed to provide a seamless and safe passage for cyclists, cutting through some of the busiest parts of the city. This will not only ease congestion, but also promote a healthier lifestyle among residents. The route will follow the path of the old London Wall. This historical alignment adds a unique charm to the project, blending modern infrastructure with the city's rich heritage. Cyclists will have the opportunity to ride along a path that has been significant for centuries. This is a direct east-west route for cyclists. It aims to connect various neighborhoods and key landmarks, making it easier for people to travel across the city without relying on motor vehicles. This route is expected to become a vital artery in London's cycling network. The goal is to make cycling safer and more appealing in London. This project is ambitious, aiming to reduce the number of cycling accidents and encourage more people to take up cycling as a primary mode of transport. The city hopes to see a significant increase in the number of cyclists on the road. It has been welcomed by cycling groups. These organizations have long advocated for better cycling infrastructure and see this project as a major victory. They believe that improved facilities will lead to a more inclusive and accessible city for everyone. They see it as a positive step. Many cyclists have expressed their excitement and optimism about the new lane, hoping it will set a precedent for future projects. The general sentiment is one of hope and anticipation for a safer, more connected cycling experience. More people may choose cycling because of it. However, some concerns remain. While the project is promising, there are questions about its implementation and whether it will meet the high expectations set by the public and advocacy groups. The completion date is 2028. This long timeline has raised eyebrows among some residents and cyclists who feel that the need for improved infrastructure is urgent. They argue that waiting several years for the project to be completed is not ideal. Some argue that this is too long to wait. They believe that the city should expedite the construction process to address the immediate safety concerns faced by cyclists. Protests and rallies have been organized to push for a faster timeline. They say the need for safer cycling infrastructure is immediate. The current conditions on many of London's roads are far from ideal, with cyclists often having to navigate through heavy traffic and unsafe environments. Immediate action is necessary to prevent accidents and fatalities. The new cycle lane will run alongside an existing one. This will create a more comprehensive network of cycling paths, making it easier for cyclists to navigate the city. The integration of new and old lanes is expected to enhance the overall cycling experience. This older lane connects Tower Hill to Victoria Embankment. It has been a popular route for cyclists, and the addition of the new lane will provide an alternative path, reducing congestion on the existing route and offering more options for cyclists. It will link with other cycle routes too. The new lane is designed to integrate seamlessly with London's existing network of cycle paths, creating a more interconnected system. This will make it easier for cyclists to plan their routes and travel efficiently across the city. These include Cycle Superhighway 2 and Cycleway 6. These superhighways are some of the most well-known and heavily used cycling routes in London. The new lane will enhance these existing routes, providing additional options and improving overall connectivity. All of this will create a network for cyclists. The ultimate goal is to develop a comprehensive and efficient cycling network that encourages more people to choose cycling over other forms of transportation. This network will not only benefit cyclists, but also contribute to a greener, more sustainable city. The cycle lane will pass through the City of London. This will take cyclists past famous landmarks. These include Leadenhall Market and Bank Junction. It will be a direct route for commuters. The central location is good. However, there are concerns about the ends of the route. The London Cycling Campaign says more needs to be done. Cyclists need to connect to the lane easily. They need to be safe too. The route has been planned to reduce disruption. However, some sections will need protected cycle lanes. This is because of high traffic. Queen Victoria Street is one example. It is very busy during peak hours. Why protected lanes? This is a question many urban planners and city dwellers are asking as they navigate the bustling streets of London. The City of London Corporation says they are necessary. They argue that these lanes are essential for the safety and efficiency of urban transportation. They are only needed on certain sections of the route. These sections are carefully chosen based on traffic patterns and cyclist safety data. These sections have a lot of traffic. The volume of vehicles in these areas can be overwhelming, making it dangerous for cyclists to navigate without protection. The traffic exceeds 500 vehicles per hour during peak times. This high volume of traffic creates a hazardous environment for cyclists, necessitating the need for protected lanes. Safety is the main reason. The primary goal of these protected lanes is to ensure that cyclists can travel safely through the city without the constant threat of accidents. The protected lanes will make cyclists safer. By providing a physical barrier between cyclists and motor vehicles, the risk of collisions is significantly reduced. More people may then cycle. When people feel safe, they are more likely to choose cycling as their mode of transportation. Cycling could then become a real transport option. With increased safety measures, cycling can become a viable and attractive alternative to driving or using public transport. Not all of the route will be protected. While the goal is to provide as much protection as possible, some areas will remain unprotected due to various constraints. Aldgate High Street will not have protected lanes. This decision is based on the specific challenges and limitations of the area. There are too many constraints. Urban planning in a city as old and complex as London involves navigating numerous obstacles. These include bus stops and loading bays. These essential services make it difficult to implement protected lanes in certain areas. The cycle lane will be diverted. To ensure cyclist safety, alternative routes are planned where direct protection is not feasible. It will go via St. Botolph Street instead. This diversion aims to provide a safer and more efficient route for cyclists, ensuring they can navigate the city with confidence. The new cycle lane is good. It represents a significant step forward in promoting sustainable transportation and reducing traffic congestion in the city. Many cyclists have welcomed this new addition, appreciating the dedicated space that allows them to ride more safely and comfortably. But the London Cycling Campaign, LCC, has some concerns. They have been vocal about the need for more comprehensive planning and faster implementation of cycling infrastructure across the city. They are worried about the timeline. The current plans extend too far into the future, and the LCC believes that immediate action is necessary to address the urgent needs of cyclists today. They also have concerns about the design. Some of the proposed designs do not meet the safety standards required to protect cyclists, especially at busy intersections and junctions where accidents are more likely to occur. The LCC say 2028 is too late. They argue that waiting until 2028 to complete the cycling network is unacceptable, as it leaves cyclists vulnerable for too long. They want safer cycling infrastructure now. Temporary solutions are not enough. Permanent, well-designed lanes are needed to ensure the safety of all cyclists. The LCC also criticizes the design of some junctions. These areas are particularly dangerous, and the current plans do not adequately address the risks involved. They are worried about safety. The number of accidents and near misses involving cyclists is a clear indication that more needs to be done to protect them. They are also worried about capacity. As more people choose to cycle, the existing lanes are becoming overcrowded, making it difficult for cyclists to navigate safely. They say that London should learn from past mistakes. Previous attempts to improve cycling infrastructure have often fallen short, and the LCC believes that these lessons should inform current and future projects. Some cycle lanes are overcrowded. This not only makes cycling less enjoyable, but also increases the risk of accidents as cyclists are forced to ride too close to one another. They are not safe enough. The current conditions in many areas are hazardous, and the LCC is calling for immediate improvements to ensure the safety of all cyclists. The LCC wants a well-connected cycling network. They envision a city where cyclists can travel seamlessly from one end to the other, without encountering dangerous gaps or poorly designed sections. It needs to be safe. Safety is the top priority, and the LCC is pushing for designs that protect cyclists from traffic and other hazards. It needs to cater to all cyclists. This includes children. Families should feel confident that their young ones can ride safely on the city's cycle lanes. It also includes less confident riders. Not everyone is an experienced cyclist, and the infrastructure should accommodate those who are just starting out or who may not feel comfortable riding in heavy traffic. The current proposal needs more work. The LCC is calling for a collaborative effort to refine the plans, ensuring that the final design meets the needs of all cyclists and promotes a safer, more sustainable city. Voices of support. Transport for London, or TfL, supports the project. They want a safer cycling environment in London. They know it is important. TfL wants people to participate in the public consultation. This is a chance to share views and feedback. The feedback will be considered. This will happen before the plans are finalised. TfL supports the project, but they are not responsible for it. The City of London Corporation is responsible. TfL will work with them. They want to make sure the cycle lane is implemented successfully. A bump in the road. The cycle lane project has been delayed. This is because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic has impacted TfL's budget. This has pushed back the completion date. It was originally 2025. It is now 2028. The City of London Corporation knows this is frustrating. The project is still a priority. They are looking for ways to speed up the timeline. Despite the delays, the corporation is committed. They want a high-quality cycle lane. It needs to be safe for cyclists. It also needs to make cycling more appealing. Section 7. Pedaling for progress. The LCC welcomes the new cycle lane, but they want it to be built faster. They say that the current timeline is not acceptable. Safer cycling infrastructure is needed now. The LCC wants more to be done. This cycle lane is just the beginning. London's streets need to be transformed. Cycling needs to be a real option for everyone. They want high-quality cycling infrastructure. They want it to be built quickly. Investing in cycling is important. It is not just about current cyclists. It is about encouraging others too. Cycling is healthy, sustainable, and efficient. A vision for the future. The City of London Corporation has a vision. They want a safer and more appealing environment for cyclists. The new cycle lane is part of this vision. They want more people to cycle to work. The corporation knows they need to balance the needs of everyone. Safety and sustainability are priorities. They want a transport network with real alternatives to cars. The new cycle lane is just one part of their plan. They have a cycleways program. This aims to transform cycling infrastructure in the City of London. Conclusion. The new cycle lane is a significant development. It shows commitment to cycling. But there are challenges. The timeline is one, the design is another. The LCC and others will be watching closely. They want to see if the final result meets the needs of cyclists. This is a crucial step towards a safer, greener, and more cycle-friendly London.